Here's another edition of What It's Like to Go to War. And these videos that I do are really for anybody who finds themselves in a combat theater of operation. But I just need to make a distinction in this video, and please don't read into this distinction. I'm not saying that one job is less important than another, but there are some jobs in the military that support the fight, and then there are some jobs that are just about fighting. And if you're not careful, you'll hear the amazing stories of incredible work by amazing warriors who take care of all of the logistics and all of the planning and all of the myriad of tasks, the many things that have to happen in order for a force to go overseas to fight, to win, and to come back home. In fact, we should never, as a country, minimize what they do. We ought to recognize all of the supporters in combat. As of this video, if you were to look at the entire United States military, there's more than 1,000 different occupation specialties out there, more than 1,000 different jobs in the military. Just in the United States Army alone, as of last year, 2023, there are about 190 different jobs, military occupation specialties, or MOSs in the United States Army. And most of those, the overwhelming majority of them, are not ground combat related. They're not kill the enemy related. And when you start to look at all of those people, very talented people with all of those jobs that do all of those things, and every one of them are essential for the military to succeed, sometimes you can lose the real essence of what it means to be in the military, what it means to be part of a fighting force, what it means to go to war. Because war's ugly, war's brutal. I have held nothing back in these videos about how ugly and how brutal war is. And at its very essence, war is about killing the enemy to achieve some kind of national goal, which means it's about the individual warfighter. Now, all of the supporters that are on the battlefield with them are in danger. All of them are going through the same environment, the same hardship, experiencing the same fear and loneliness and everything else. But a lot of that support is done miles or many or even countries away from the direct battle at the pointy end of the spear, for a lack of a better word. I'm not exalting the guy or the gal that's at the front lines of combat. I'm not trying to minimize the guy or the gal who's in the rear doing extremely important jobs. What I'm saying is don't ever lose the fact, even when you hear the thousands of stories of all of the supporters and what they've done to make the fight successful, and those stories deserve to be told, don't lose the fact that the ultimate essence of war is about killing the enemy to accomplish your nation's objectives. And there's lots and lots of people that support it. In fact, the overwhelming majority of the work is in the support. If it wasn't for the support, there's no way that those fighters at the pointy end of the spear could accomplish what they need to do for the country. But in war, you have two different fights. You have the fight eyeball to eyeball, just a couple of feet or a few meters away from the enemy. And then you have the rest of the fight. And both of those fights are absolutely essential in order for a nation to be able to accomplish its objectives in war. And in this video, I just want to remind you, when you hear me talk about war, don't forget there are hundreds of thousands, in some cases, 1 million people behind the scenes that make it possible for the handful of people at the pointy end of the spear to be able to kill the enemy and enforce the nation's objectives, the nation's will, and the nation's objectives. And when I talk about war, this is the essence of what it means to go to war. If you don't have that, you really don't have a war. Just a few thoughts for you to define my terms when I describe what it's like to go to war. See you next time.